Hey guys, how you doing? We're going to talk today about Mr. Jones, and I'm making this a case so that you can decide on why you want to add this policy, a whole life policy, what we call the infinite banking concept. Why we want to add this policy to your life, part of your portfolio. Here's the reason. Most people are not building a real retirement. Most people are not building a legacy for their families. They're not building it. They are just, they're just working day to day. They're not looking for what's going on. What if you could build this policy without any extra money? Without any extra money. And you throw the money that you're already receiving, you throw that into your policy and you keep that money growing for the rest of your life. What would that sound like? And use the money whenever you get ready. Like throw the money in and pull it right back out just like a HELOC. It's what I consider this policy to be. I treat it's a whole life insurance policy, and I treat it like a personal line of credit. And I show you that within what I'm doing personally within my own policy. So let's get to it, and let's start out with using Mr. Jones. And I'm going to use different age groups, 37 and 40. Most of you are looking at this as somewhere between 37 and 40, 45 years old, maybe 55, 60. Doesn't matter what your age is. I'm going to show you what the difference is going to be, but the concept works the same when it comes to how much the policy can give you and how you can work it. All right. What's going to be the difference between the ages, male and female? Whether you're going to be preferred, a premium plus person, or just an everyday person like diabetes and high blood pressure and a little bit of, arthritis, right? So let me show you what the major difference is. All right. So let's get to it. Let's start out with a very small policy. $1,000 a year. That's it. $1,000 a year that is required to start a policy. $1,000 a year, whole life policy. Now, we're not looking just throwing 1,000. Don't get me wrong. That's going to allow us to throw in $10,000 a year, but we're not committed to $10,000 a year. We're only committed to $1,000 a year. Okay. Now, what would $1,000 purchase in insurance? About $59,559 of a death benefit, right? Plus, we're going to add a term rider to it. It's going to cost a little bit more money, but just a little bit. Let's say $270,000, which is another $107 a year. If you divide $107.62 divided by a year, by 12 months, it's going to cost you another $9. So from 83 plus 9, right, it's about $102. $102 to have this policy per month. Okay. Now here's the beauty of it. All right. So it's going to allow me to throw in $10,000 a year. Now this is what we're doing. We got $1,000 commitment to the insurance company, and we're going to throw in $10,000 total in that year. It's going to give you $8,761 in cash. Now, that could be extra money you throwing into it, or that could be the only money you throwing into it. Could you borrow in your first 3 months, 4 months? Could you borrow the money that you're putting in your cash value? Answer is absolutely yes. I'll show you that example already in my policy. I put it in for like 2.5 months, 3 months, and I just pulled the loan out of it, right? And so the reason why I'm showing you this, I'm showing you how you can get your policy started. And you got to realize once you start it, like that policy is done. You don't want to change it. You want to build on that. But I'm encouraging you to go higher. And here's the reason why. All right. So your first year, you got $8,000 in. Next year, you put another $1,000 in. You paid the premium for another $1,000, right? You put another $10,000 in, total of $20,000. You almost broke even at $18,000. Your third year, you put another $10,000 in. You got $30,000. You had $29,296. Your fourth year, so between years 3 and 4, you actually broke even. You put in $40,000, and now you have $40,000 in cash. All right, so you broke even. All right, Now, let's talk about this, guys. When you think about money going to your policy, and it stops after year 6, no more money, not a single dime went into your policy. Not a single dime. Nothing. Not over there, not over here. And you still got $63,000 in there, and your balance for your death benefit, and when you pass away, is $330,000. But we don't care about this death benefit to a point. Let me say, I said to a point. What I'm saying to you is, no matter what your age, the death benefit is going to climb. It's going to either be a lot more money here or less money here based on your age, right? So if you're, for example, this person is, for example, 46 years old, right? 46, okay? I'm sorry, this person's 37. This person's 37 years old. So they got $330,000, right? 337, okay? But everybody else that's older, this number's going to go down a little bit. If they're younger, this number's going to go up. It's going to be up a little bit. It might be 352 or 370 or 400,000. But that's not what we're living. We're not living to die. We're living to use the money that we are building cash-wise. This is what we're building. This is what a personal line of credit is. This is the money that we can borrow, use it, pay it back, use it again, pay it back. And remember, we are not, when we borrow the money, we are not taking any money out away from cash. It is a loan based off the cash value. So this is just an example of a person at the minimum $1,000 a year going in. You're doing $10,000. Your checks, you're sending your checks in, and you're pulling the money right back out. Well, Wall Street, I make, between 3 months. That'll be done in 3 months. Well, then that policy is too small for you. That policy is way too small for you. You might need a $5,000 policy. Okay, so let's think about this one. So here's Mr. Jones again. This time I made him 3 years older. He's 40. Okay, 40 years. He is a preferred. In other words, what that means is he's like a standard person, right? Maybe have a little bit weight on him. Maybe on a little bit of diabetes medicine, whatever the case is, a little bit, not perfect class, but preferred. Okay, so here we go. This person is putting in $5,000 a year. That's the total commitment they're going to make to the insurance company. That's going to allow them to do 10 times the value, 10 times the value right here, 10 times the value of what we're doing, 10 times the value. Okay, now when I say that 10 times the value, what am I really talking about? That means I'm talking about this right here. Okay, let me do a free thing here. And what we're really talking about is this right here, right? This is what we're talking about. Able to throw in $50,000. You only put in 5 a year, but you can dump in a lot more. So you put in 50, you did another 50, right? That means you get 100 that next year. The third year, you got a 150. The fourth year, you got 200,000. And look, between year 3 and 4, you broke even. This time, this person has a $1.4 million policy, right? 1.4 million, okay? Now, that's beautiful when you die, but while you're alive, you're using the 43,000, right? You're using that. You're using the 94. You're using the 147. You're using the 260, right? You're using all of these. You're using all of this that's here. You're using all of this. You're using it. The money that's keep growing in your account. Now, I want to ask you a question. During your working years, if you're making $50, $60, $70, $80,000 a year, if you got extra money coming in from anything like, working the MLS Bitcoin Club, you got any loans coming in, you got anything like that coming into your account, you can dump it into this policy, turn around and borrow the money back, borrow the money out to do and keep growing your death benefit. You got to keep growing this death benefit. See, my whole goal is, for me personally, I'm throwing in $100,000, right? But I'm showing you how you can start something to build on it and use the money. And eventually, in 2 years, you want to buy your house. 3 years, you want to pay off your house. $147,000 available. 4 years, You got $200,000 available. You think you can't borrow and pay back $43,000 in your first year? Borrow it, pay it back in your first year, borrow it again, pay it back. Next year you dump in another $50,000, borrow $50,000, pay it back, and pay it back in the same year, pay it back in 2 years. Here's the beautiful thing about it. When you borrow money from your life insurance company, there is no payback schedule. None, zero. That's the power of what we got going on with this. Let's show you another example. Here is Mrs. Jones. Here's a female, Mrs. Jones, age 46, regular class, right? Doing $8,000 premium. That's going to give them what? 10 times that number. What's 10 times 8? 80. They could dump in $80,000 a year. In the first year, the $70,000 there. The second year, they at 160. Right here, they got 151 ready to use. Third year, 240. Fourth year, 320. Fourth year, 326. Wow, look at that. You are now breaking even between your third and fourth year. That's awesome, right? So look at things. Think of this. That's $250,000 that's available to you. If you got the discipline to throw all the money back into your policy. See, this is what I'm teaching you to do. I'm teaching you to follow exactly what I'm doing. I'm receiving my pensions. I take my pensions, go to my checking account, and I send it directly to my insurance policy. Any money I get from the MLS Bitcoin Club, any money I get from selling any kind of products, any money I get from receiving loans, borrow my little bit of money, I use it, I borrow the cash flow, I put it into my policy to build on something, right? To build on something, and then I just pay it back. That's the benefit. The death benefit, we teach you, there's a class in your back office as well that's going to walk you through on how you distribute this money, right? Because you're going to put in a family trust, right? I'm teaching you things, how to keep your money growing. So all this work, all this sacrifice you're doing to build this cash flow, guess what? Your bills, come on, you don't have any bills. You're knocking that stuff out. You're building $250,000, 300,000 in 3 or 4 years, right? Let's look at another policy. Let's look at Mrs. Jones at 10K. This is what I'm doing. See, it doesn't matter the age. See, this is Mrs. Jones, female, age 46. Darry Perkinson, male, age 57, 58, right? Bam, same numbers going in, except my death benefit is like 1.4. Her death benefit is 2.5. But guess what? I'm fine with that. We still got the same amount of money to use in cash. $87,000 the first year, $189,000 the second year, almost $300,000 your third year. The fourth year, another $400,000. Do you see what's going on? Do you see the power and what's going on? How you become financially free? Are you understanding what's going on right now? This is how you walk yourself to financial freedom. This is how you become the legacy of your family. This is only the beginning, guys. This is not the end. It's only the beginning. And if you take this lesson and you grow on this policy, you grow with it, you learn how to use it, right? I put the money in, I take my whole check, I throw it in, right? I gave you examples about that in the other video. I take my check and I throw it in there. I throw some more money in there next week, and then a week after that, then a week after that. Every time I get paid, I'm throwing money in. When I receive Bitcoin, my Bitcoin stays where it is. When I want to receive cash, I take my cash, I throw it in there. Anything that I'm doing, I can throw it into this and keep my money growing for the rest of my life. Every dollar that goes into this policy is growing for the rest of my life, and it's making 4%, guaranteed 4% interest every single year, plus whatever the dividend happens to be. The dividend is a non-guarantee, but the cash value is definitely my money, and it's growing 4% every year. And I'm not doing cash withdrawals. I am doing tax-free loans. Tax-free loans. That's the power of it. Notice how no more money goes in, and it just keeps going all the way down. It's still growing every year. It's still growing. Still growing. It's still growing. It's still growing. I'm not paying the $10,000 every year. It's taking the money from the cash value and it's paying the $10,000. And when I paid $10,000, it gave me $33,000 or $59,000. You see, it's adding every year. It's adding more and more money. My cash value is growing every single year. That is the power of this program. That's the power of your whole life insurance policy. And no, every insurance policy is not equal. Every insurance company is not equal. Every insurance company is not going to allow you to throw money in anytime you get ready. Every insurance company is not going to allow you to take out, 98 to 99% of the cash value and use it. They're not all equal. So we're teaching you how to use the policy. The next thing is you got to find a person that can know how to blend this policy, how to properly write this policy up. And once you have that, you're golden. Me and my team can write a policy for anybody in the country, any state in the country. So if you live in, Tennessee, you live in Chicago, you live in Florida, you live in New Mexico, wherever you live, we can write you a policy and blend it the right way so we can take care of the members of this club. And that's the reason why I got my license again. So I can help people just like you to become financially free and help you the right way. If you follow what we're teaching you to do, guys, your life is going to change forever. Forever. I guarantee it. That's a guarantee I can say because I know what it does. And I know if you follow the training and we teach you exactly what to do, it's going to change your life forever. Right? This is the power of insurance. It's the power of having the right insurance and the right insurance product. So with that being said, guys, I hope this video helped you a little bit, gave you a little bit of understanding how the policy works. I know you got questions. Watch the other videos. It's going to answer your questions, okay? You guys have an awesome, great day. I look forward to helping you, each of you, become financially free. You guys take care. God bless.